Are you an entrepreneur who also speaks on stages, summits, and events? If so, have you ever wondered why speaking isn't getting you customers? Do you get lots of applause when you speak, but you're watching others fill their calendars and make sales? If so, stay tuned to today's episode and discover why you might be making a fatal mistake in your marketing message that is pushing clients away. I'm your host, Joe Sayles Jr. Welcome to Flip Your Marketing Flops, the digital marketing and lead generation podcast. Welcome to Flip Your Marketing Flops, the podcast, providing weekly episodes of presentations, interviews, and conversations with marketing professionals and industry experts discussing common marketing mistakes and how to prevent them. If you're an entrepreneur, local service-based business owner, small business marketer, or a new digital marketing professional, and you don't normally have access to insider marketing knowledge, then this podcast is for you. My purpose is to teach you the hacks, tips, and secrets that will prevent common marketing mistakes, saving you both time and money. Hi, I'm your host, Joe Sayles Jr., and in this episode, I brought in one of my favorite guest speakers, marketing messaging expert, Nicki Chang-Powless. As Nikki will point out in this episode, the reason your marketing isn't working and you're not getting more clients is not always about spending more money on ads. In fact, many of the reasons why are not what you might think. But before we get into that, let me tell you a little bit about today's guest speaker. Nicki Chang-Powless describes herself as a client attraction specialist. She is the owner of NCP Consulting Services, supporting small business owners in creating a powerful marketing message and choosing the activities that feel aligned while giving them the best return on their time and effort. With 23 years of corporate experience from sales and marketing, Nikki believes every entrepreneur deserves to build a business that feels simple, fun, and profitable. She is the Amazon best-selling author of Putting the Pieces Together, your survival guide to the first 5 years in business. And she is also the creator of Marketing Mystery to Marketing Mastery, her signature program that helps entrepreneurs attract more of their dream clients. The small business community has awarded Nikki and her programs with the 2018 Best New Business Venture Award at the Superlative Awards and the 2019 Entrepreneur of the Year at the Business from the Heart Awards. In this episode, Nikki breaks down the two main reasons marketing fails. We dive deep into the art and science of crafting messages that actually convert, from your 60-second intro at networking events to signature talks that fill your calendar with clients. Nikki shares several stories and analogies that are not just interesting, but really help to demonstrate the points that she is making. Some of these include her birthday cake analogy that'll change how you think about marketing. She also explains why collaboration beats AI and templates when it comes to messaging that resonates. Then, if you ever feel like you're talking to an audience but nobody's listening, there's Nikki's shark analogy that is not only funny, but it'll make you realize why you need to see your business from beyond your own perspective. So stick around for today's episode. In fact, stick around to the end for a special gift from her to this audience. And now, here is Nicki Chang-Powless. Hi, Nikki. Welcome to the program.
It's good to be back again, Joe.
Oh, good. It's been about 5 years or so, 4 years since we last interviewed, our only interview, and it's an interview that sticks out in my head because number one, it's the only interview I had to redo because I didn't hit the record button. And number two, we had so many things in common and we were going really fluidly with the interview and I had to force it to stop when I felt like it could have been an hour. So I'm glad to have you back here on the platform. So tell me what you've been doing since our last interview. What have you been focused on?
I've been focusing on a lot of different things. Last time we spoke, I was focusing a lot on the messaging. And when I talked about messaging, it was mainly the 60-second intro, social media profiles, and websites. Since then, what I've done is expanded the messaging into signature talks and what to say when you're being interviewed. These are all part of the big picture of your message, because so many people come up to me and goes, Nikki, marketing doesn't work. And I'm like, what do you mean marketing doesn't work? Well, marketing does work. However, what I find that people, when they're saying that marketing doesn't work, it's usually because of one of two reasons. Number one, it's because the marketing activity that they've chosen is not getting in front of the right audience.
Mm.
Okay. So, I mean, sure, we can do Facebook ads, but if you don't have all the right elements in place for Facebook ads to work, then yes, you're going to say it doesn't work, but it does work if you have all the right pieces. So that's usually the number one thing, is identifying which is the right marketing activity for them. And the second thing is related to the messaging. And when it comes to messaging, it's more than just telling people what you do. It's being able to tell them how you can support and help them. And if people don't understand what you do, Joe, would you agree with me? You're not going to buy from them, right? If you don't understand what they do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's probably one of the biggest things, is people don't understand how that messaging is the critical piece for marketing to be successful,
You know,
which
I,
is
I
why,
hear you saying two things here. One is the activities, they're not really knowing what activities to get themselves out there. But I feel like what's even more powerful is the second one, because I think they can go anywhere and figure out the first one. They have a lot harder time to work and resolve their second one, is what to say that's going to attract their audience. And so I definitely would love for you to delve more into that topic. One of the things that I know that we spoke about is also that when we've talked in the past, we were kind of just focused on one-on-one marketing messaging. Tell me about how you've broadened the picture and what you're doing.
oh my gosh, signature talks. Signature talks can be defined as a webinar that you give online, or if you're on a live in-person stage. Remember, I think the last time we met, it was COVID. So now we're able to present to a much larger group. And here's the thing, there is power in speaking to a large audience.
Mm,
I'll share with you my own experience. So,
okay.
when I first started my business, I started doing networking. It was like, hi, how are you? I'm meeting a lot of people. And then one day, I realized that the people who were really getting noticed were the ones that were standing on the stage. Would you
Mm-hmm.
agree with me with that,
Mm-hmm.
Joe?
For sure.
Because they're talking to the entire room. So, you know what I did? I put my hand up and I said, pick me, pick me. And I started applying to speaking positions, speaking stages and everything like that. And you know what? The audience loved me. They loved my content. They were learning lots. The event organizers loved me. They kept calling me back. But you know what, Joe?
What's that?
I realized I wasn't getting clients.
Mm,
So I'm sitting here going, okay, that's when I recognized there's a difference between speaking to educate, speaking to motivate, speaking to inspire, and speaking to sell. So when you are speaking to sell, and you don't want to sound salesy, but there is a way of doing this without sounding salesy, is you're taking the content from the education, motivation, and inspiration. And it's about choosing the right content to present and
yep.
then structuring it in a very specific way that helps lead your audience to say, I need to talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's amazing. Once I had discovered what my talks were missing, my entire world changed.
Mm, I'll
And
bet.
here's the thing, you don't need more than one talk. All you need is a single talk that has the right content and layout to show the value that you can bring to your clients.
Right.
And then so whenever somebody says, "Hey, can you speak at my event next week?" Your prep time goes down to like very minimal because you've
Right.
already got your talk in place, right?
Right.
And once you have that, your world changes because people are now coming to you instead of you trying to beat down doors.
You triggered a thought. I'm sure you have when this was their aha moment and they've applied what you taught them and how that's helped them. Do you have any stories like that that you could share that are not the same one we used a long time ago?
It's hard to remember which ones I've used a long time ago. But in terms of speaking and being on the stage, I'll be totally upfront and honest with you, Joe, is there's a ton of people out there teaching training
Yep.
on how to put together your signature talk. And you know what? I was one of those people about 3 years ago. I used to teach people how to put together the signature talk.
Mhm.
And that's when I started to recognize the clients started coming to me and they say, "Nikki, I don't want to learn this stuff anymore."
Mhm.
They said, "I
Yep.
don't want to learn this stuff anymore. Can you help me put it together?"
Yeah.
So what I did was I shifted my service to work one-on-one with people.
Mhm.
And I also recognized working with my clients that they said to me, it wasn't the process that they didn't understand. It was how to choose the right content. That was the trickiest part. And once you are able to figure out what is your secret sauce and how to present it in a way that makes a huge impact, that made the world a difference. So, I mean, one of my clients, she had taken these courses. She says, "Nikki, I don't want to take another course." And within 2 sessions, she's like, "I just paid within these 2 sessions, I just paid for the entire thing." The process of working together and collaboration makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And this is something, and I'm going to share with you this the one word that has come out in marketing since you and I have talked. This is where AI
You're
can't
right.
help. Is it's in the collaboration. So the process that I took her through is she had so much information in her brain. And it's the process that I developed on how to extract that
Mhm.
information and to identify which pieces will make the most important impact on the audience. That is the secret sauce. That's something it's hard for AI to work in that collaborative type of environment right now. Who
Sure.
knows? That might change, but right now it's like which piece is going to be the right one?
Well, hopefully we'll be able
And
to keep the human element in that so we don't have to worry about AI taking that over and we'll be able to keep developing that. That is one of the things I heard you saying there is entrepreneurs a lot of times have a lot of ideas. There are a lot of creativity in them. And so because there's so much, how to pull it out, how to organize it. I was speaking with another lady the other day. She's a project manager and it's like we kind of came to the same realization that there's so many things going on in their head. Sometimes they haven't figured out how to articulate it. You know, especially the smaller solopreneur types, they have a harder time articulating it often. And so it is difficult because it is easy to say, here's a template, follow the template, and you'll be fine. And yes, there's a certain percentage of people that can do it that way. But I've found there's a larger group of people who have difficulty doing that way. And you can tell that by how long it takes them to develop their marketing messaging. Going back to like when my experience, the way I learned it, it took me 5 days of going through an hour a day working on mine, and I finally felt like I got it, but I wasn't having one-on-one with people that I could have been developing it with. So that's really powerful.
actually, Joe, I want to share with you one of the secret sauces to the messaging. And I'm going to share it to you in the form of a story because I know you like
Okay.
stories, okay?
Yes, I do.
So, Joe, I'm going to bake a birthday cake. Okay, I'm going to bake a birthday cake. I'm going to take the cake and I'm going to start off by baking the base cake. Okay, the base cake is your marketing content. Okay, now, Joe, would you agree with me that how I decorate the cake for a toddler will be very different than how I decorate the cake for my mother?
100%.
Okay, but the cake itself
Still the
is
cake.
the same. It's still the cake. It's the same thing with marketing. The cake itself is the marketing message, but the words that we choose to articulate the message makes a huge impact. And I'm going to give you an example, Joe. Joe, have you ever heard the term elevator pitch?
Of course.
Okay. Now, Joe, I tend to work with heart-centered entrepreneurs. Many of us work from our homes, and if you look around, we don't have an elevator. So the thing is, the term elevator pitch tends to have a corporate connotation to it.
Yes,
Would you
it
agree
does,
with me
for
on
sure.
that?
For sure.
Yes. However, with the heart-centered entrepreneurs that I work with, I will call it the 60-second introduction.
I like that.
And you know what, Joe? It's exactly the same as the elevator pitch. But the words that I choose to articulate that message is very different. The reaction is different because the audience is different. So, which is why it's very important to look at not only your marketing content, but the words that you're choosing to articulate it. And this is where collaboration comes in. Okay, collaboration. So, what I like to say is the marketing message is part science and part art.
Yep.
And so the science part is here's the template, right? Here's the template. Fill out the template. That's the science part.
Right.
The art part is, are you choosing the words that will make that connection with your audience? And this is where the power of collaboration comes in.
Right.
Is when you have a community of people that you can bounce ideas off of and words off of each other to see, hey, does this resonate with you or not? That's where your marketing content gets stronger and more powerful way faster.
Absolutely.
I was going to share with you one of my clients, she's in marketing. She's a digital marketer. And she said to me, Nikki, I need to come up with a name for my new program. And so her and I, we collaborated and we came up with 5 different options. And I said, I want you to take those 5 options and I want you to test it out. I want you to ask people which ones they like. And she came back to me a week later with this long look on her face. And I said, what's wrong? And she goes, they all picked this one name. There wasn't even a second choice. And I'm sitting here going, well, why do you have the long face? And she goes, I hate that name. It's the name she liked the least.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I said, are you selling this program to yourself?
Right.
Or to the people you just asked their opinion? And she's in marketing too.
Yep.
So just because we think what we think is a work of art
Yeah.
may not be how the audience perceives it.
Right. Right. I tend to describe myself as Spock from Star Trek. I'm a human robot, half human, but no mechanical. Well, that's not true. But anyway, I tend to be systematic, robotic, emotionless, kind of, in the way I do things often for myself. So if I've written a marketing message for myself, and this was where I was struggling with, it's like, how engaging, how attractive is it? How is it making the person hearing the message feel like that's them? And I had to really work on that personally, on trying to make it so that it's engaging, attractive, I don't know the right word I'm looking for, but they could actually picture themselves hearing the message saying that you might have what I'm looking for. And that's what your whole 30-second message is all about. It's making sure the other person's understanding. So, I go back to it's easy for me because I've been doing lead generation for a long time. It was easier for me to like tell my 75-year-old dad that what I did as a digital marketer, and he understood because he liked to fish. So I talked about using the right kind of fish in the right kind of water at the right depth and the right timing. And that's the same thing. So he could kind of understand that that's how the buyer's journey works in your marketing messaging and everything. But sometimes I tend to make it too robotic sounding. It's almost like what comes out from AI and what comes out from me can look very similar sometimes, and I have to work hard to dress it up. And I find that in marketing messaging, really, your 60-second message about yourself really includes your unique value proposition and your mission statement. Would you agree with that? No.
Not in your 60 seconds. This is where a lot of people, when it comes to the 60-second intro, that they don't understand that the 60-second introduction is meant to build intrigue for them to reach out and say, tell me more. A lot of people come to me, I can't get people to buy from my 60-second introduction. And I'm sitting here going, I don't even buy red high-heeled shoes in 60 seconds. I'm not going to buy services in 60 seconds. So the intention of the 60 seconds is to build intrigue and to draw the person in, not necessarily to sell. It is not to sell.
Yeah,
The only thing I've ever purchased in 30 seconds is the pack of gum that's at the grocery store lineup.
I guess where I was trying to, and maybe I didn't articulate it well enough, but my mindset is that when you understand what your purpose is and when you understand why you're doing it and you understand what it is you offer, it makes it easier to know how to put those components into your marketing message. That's kind of where I was going with that, because when I was developing mine, the problem was that I didn't understand 100% what my mission was, and I didn't understand 100% what made me unique at the time. And actually, that's what helped me formulate it very specifically to where I am today.
Absolutely. Actually, I have a name for that, Joe.
What
Do you
is
want
it?
the name for that?
Yeah.
That's what I call the product brand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Your product brand. When I talk about product brand, I'm not talking about logos or colors or fonts. That's visual branding.
Right.
The product brand is about getting crystal clear on who your target audience is and how you can help them.
Right.
Number 2, how you are unique from others offering
Yep.
similar services.
Yep.
Number 3, how do you position yourself as an expert?
Yep.
Number 4, how do you show the value that you bring to justify them investing in your services?
Right.
And number 5 is how do you lead them through the next steps of your sales and marketing cycle?
Mm-hmm.
That is your product brand.
Got it.
When you have clarity on each one of those pieces, then your message is much easier to put together.
Yeah. 100%.
Now, when I talk about the marketing message, we are talking about different pieces now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's the 60-second introduction,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also your social media profiles. There's also your website.
Yep.
There's also maybe your flyers, if you have flyers, depending on what business you're in. There's also your signature talk. What do you say when you're in a big room?
Yep.
And also, what do you say when you're being interviewed?
Yep.
All of those pieces, those are all different ways you can articulate your product brand.
Yeah, for sure.
It starts with understanding what your product brand is
Yes,
before
it does.
you can articulate it.
I went to 8 classes with people with their marketing message. I wasn't always trying to learn how to do it, but I just had opportunities to go for free. And it was COVID. It was better than watching TV. So I actually listened to a lot of people. And I found that the things that we were just talking about are what we're missing in how people were teaching you to do your own personal brand messaging. And so to hear you say this, the things that I do, this is reassuring that my mindsets are right. And those were the things that were missing in the classes that I saw previously. So I'm glad to hear that. Now, Nikki, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to kind of chuckle at this. We're at almost 24 minutes in, and this is great. And this is why you were my first interview here for the podcast. And I'm so excited about that.
I have one more story to share.
Please share your story.
Okay, well, actually, I'm going to share with you this story that is probably one of the biggest keys for marketing success. Actually, not just marketing success, it's business success. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Joe, you and I are going to the beach.
Yep.
Okay? We're going to the beach. And have you heard this one before? I don't think so.
No.
Okay, we're going to the beach, okay? And I'm going to get in the water, and you and I are going in the water, and we're going to be swimming, we're splashing, and we're going to have a great time, okay?
Okay.
Joe, let me ask you this. When do we see the shark?
You had to pick that one. I grew up near the beach, so that's always been a fear of mine, and you had to pick that one because my kids like to get in the water. But anyway, sorry, I digress. When do we see the sharks? That's scary.
Is it when it's too late?
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to see them, but if we see them,
Okay.
it's way too late.
Exactly. That's my point. Now, Joe, over there on the beach is the lifeguard.
Yep.
And they're sitting at the lifeguard station.
Yep.
And their role is to look out into the water and look for water hazards and look for signs of that shark coming. Mm-hmm. Agree with me on that?
Yep.
And if they see the shark coming, they're going to grab the what is that thing called? And they're going to go get out of the water, get out of the water. The bull, yeah, exactly. And they're going to get you, come out of the water.
Yeah.
So now let me ask you this, Joe. Do you think it has anything to do with our ability to be good swimmers?
No.
No. If the shark's going to be there, the shark's going to be there.
Right.
Right? It has nothing to do with our ability to be a good swimmer.
Right.
It's the same thing with business. We are in the water with our business. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with our ability to make good business decisions. It has to do with our ability to be able to see our business from afar. Yeah. To see things that we can't see.
Yep. That's why we need to work with someone.
Exactly. So it has nothing to do with us being bad business owners.
Right.
It just has to do with our ability to be able to see things that we can't see.
Yep, from a different perspective. Agreed.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's the same thing with marketing. We can create the most beautiful art pieces, marketing pieces.
Yep.
And we will have poured our heart and soul into it. But it's not a matter of that we felt we built a masterpiece. So when it comes to marketing, it has to do with did the audience resonate with it?
Yeah. I'm reminded of, I took formal classes in digital marketing 2010 to 2012. And one of the things that came out of those classes was the statement of WIFM. You know the acronym? What's in it for me? And I never forget that. I might forget to do it initially when I'm doing things, when I'm first brainstorming and things of that nature. But eventually, everything I do, I try to make sure I go back to it and look at it for what's in it for me from the other party's perspective or from the client perspective. So I think this is a good time to start to wrap this up. If you're in agreement here, I had a couple of last things I wanted to ask you about. These days, where are you taking your business with AI factoring in?
AI factoring in. First of all, there's a lot of businesses out there who are probably in the same boat to see, okay, how far can AI take my business? But also keep in mind that there are certain pieces in terms of what we do that AI cannot
Yes.
replace.
Yep.
And that's the thing. It's being able to coexist with AI,
Yes.
to work together with it. And I know a lot of what I do, yes, some of it can be replaced with AI. However, when I take my clients through the process, AI can't see your reactions to the questions.
Right.
It can't see your hesitation. It can't see your excitement,
Yep.
right? And so there's a lot in terms of the process that I've built
Mm-hmm.
that covers the area that AI does not cover right now.
That's what I've been working. Well, I've worked it out, and now I'm building it in, and that's really related to why I have this podcast. The overall factor was I had always wanted to create courses. I used to be a school teacher. There's elements of what I learned as a school teacher that I see missing in the way people teach different courses and everything. And yeah, you can go into AI and spit out a course or whatever. Apparently, people are doing that all the time. But the bottom line is the human element. People still need the human element. And so I knew you would be thinking about it. I like to think of it as an assistant for me. All it is it's my researcher, so it's way faster than the way I used to research. One of the things I'm finding is pretty powerful and helping me think of things I missed, my checklists or whatever. It's helping me make better checklists, but overall, if you don't have the human element, what do we have? If AI starts looking at us and saying, "Hey, we don't need humans. All we need is each other," we're going to be toast anyway. So we got to make sure that we stay relevant in our businesses and in all we're doing.
Absolutely. And in the example that I used earlier, would AI be able to understand the difference between an elevator pitch and a 60-second intro and the impact it's having on the audience?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe AI is learning from what I just said.
Hopefully it won't do. Hopefully it won't get to a point where it replaces us. I have kids. You have kids, and we'll have to see what it does for them. I don't know if I want to be here to see all that it's able to do in the future, but for right now, we keep it human as much as we can, and I think we'll be in good shape. I think we're going to be the ones who survive things. So, Nikki, this has been another awesome interview with you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all that you share with my audience, and I just appreciate having you as a colleague and a friend.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you. This has been great. I always have fun with our interviews.
Same here. Same here. I can't wait till I do the next one. Is there anything that you are doing that you wanted to share? Is there anything else that you would like to point out to my audience?
I have a special gift for your audience because one of the most common questions that I get asked is, what do I say at a networking event for my intro? So, what I have is what to say when you only have 30 seconds.
ah,
And I will give you the link. You can post the link in there. They can download it. It's one way of introducing yourself that will make the most impact because you only have one opportunity to make a
yeah,
first impression.
for sure. For sure. I appreciate that, and I'll make sure that is attached to everything and everybody has access to that. Which that just kicked on another thing. I'm going to say this real fast before we jump off of here. One day recently, I was looking at my marketing pitch folder, if you will, and I have now I probably have about 8 different variations of it for it to fit different time segments and the slightly different audiences that I have under my umbrella of my brand. And so I never envisioned this years ago, but I think for everybody who's listening today, they need to understand that this is such an integral part of what you have in your business that you need to understand and need to do well. And with that, that's why we have you here. Again, I appreciate you sharing this with the audience today. And with that, we're going to close this up. Thank you again, Nikki.
Thank you.
Well, this has been another outstanding episode of Flip Your Marketing Flops with Nicki Chang-Powless. We discussed how marketing fails for two reasons, because either you're reaching the wrong audience or your message isn't clear. We've also discussed how the 60-second introduction isn't meant to sell, it's designed to make people want to know more. Nikki shared how speaking to sell is different from speaking to educate. She introduced the 5 critical elements of your product brand, how collaboration beats AI templates, how word choice matters as much as content, and you gotta test your marketing messaging with real people. If you'd like to hear more from Nikki, she's a frequent podcast and summit speaker. You can look for Nikki to be speaking not only about how to quickly attract more of your ideal clients, as she did here today, but she also talks about the biggest mistakes that hold you back and how to best invest your time and money. You can catch up with her at her website at ncpconsulting.net, and you can also find her on Facebook and on LinkedIn. Now here's an action step for you. Nikki has provided viewers and listeners of this episode with a gift, what to say when you only have 30 seconds, so you can begin taking action today. So here are my final thoughts. If you're ready to stop chasing sales and leads and start attracting them, and you need a community of peers for things like testing your messages and getting the thoughts of other experienced peers, then join me on my new venture. It's the Ultimate Lead Generation Mastery, where I've taken my signature course and have turned it into a community and academy for 2026 and beyond. With the Ultimate Lead Generation Mastery, we are helping businesses grow to new heights. Join Ultimate Lead Generation Mastery today as a Founders Circle member, and you'll receive a 50% discount on your first year's membership. At Ultimate Lead Generation Mastery, we'll support you in leading your business in 3 primary ways. We can work with you as an agency in our done-for-you model that has always been the root of our business. Next, you can learn how to do it yourself through our courses and monthly workshops. Lastly, I have a popular model that I've been using with my clients and my students where I combine teaching you with coaching or consulting in our done-with-you models that are both small group or one-to-one training sessions. So, what I'm saying here is that the Ultimate Lead Generation Mastery is designed to meet you and your marketing needs right where you are, whether you're an entrepreneur, a startup, or a new digital marketer. Simply go to www.ultimateleadgenerationmastery.com and check it out. Take our online presence assessment and get a free, no-obligation 90-day marketing plan for your business. So if you're ready to grow your business by finding the bottlenecks in your marketing and begin unplugging them with strategic activities that grow your business, then visit ultimateleadgenerationmastery.com today. See you soon, and until then, keep flipping your marketing flops into marketing successes. Flip Your Marketing Flops is the digital marketing and lead generation podcast where you can listen in on the latest digital marketing and lead generation trends and tips through conversations with marketing professionals. We're helping service businesses and entrepreneurs produce better marketing results. Tune into our latest episode on your favorite listening platform. Get involved with the show. There are many ways to do so. You can email me here at the show. Just use joe@flipyourmarketingflops.com. If you enjoy the content on this channel, let me know. If you have a digital marketing topic you would like to know more about, tell me about it. And if there is someone you think I should have on the show, just give me their name. You are crucial to the success of this show, just as I want to be helpful in the success of your business, and I want to give you information you want to know about. So be sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and comment below. For more information, visit flipyourmarketingflops.com. Remember, every marketing flop is just a lesson waiting to be flipped.